Hi, this is Farmer George. I'm going to try and make this course for you. This cross course, what I call a cross course, has cross points in it. Say we start here with this vehicle. I'm assuming that we don't have anything stopping us, and the chosen point for the cross point here is going to be outside the farmyard, just here, I hope. I'll have to look at this map when I get closer to where we're going, because this is literally the east side of the map, the main location. But you can have more than one. You could have 2 or 3 different points at north and only 2 or 3 at south, or as many as you like, really. You've just got to create those courses to and from the destinations. Really, it's destinations. You shouldn't really think about the positioning of them apart from where they cross in the middle. And if you like most farms maps, they will have a farmyard in the middle of the map, as with like places like Haggerstad and Beyond Home and that. They've got the farmyard relatively central. Then it's an easy thing to do. So outside of a place like this, you could click to put a cross point. Okay, that's what we've just done. And a cross point, it's gonna looks like that. So you see, I've already had a cross point before from somewhere else. So there's a cross point, and you can create as many of these crossing points as you like on your course. They don't affect the course itself per se, unless you want to go from that course to move over to another course. So this is basically how to get from any point on your farm to any other point on your farm. And you should really only need a few courses, and you've got every destination covered as like a drive to A to B type of course. We really didn't do it for this farm, but when you first start out, you should do it for your farm right at the beginning. The last time I made this type of a video was in Farming Simulators 2013, where we was driving on the, I think it's Haggerstad map. I think it's the same name, isn't it? And basically that then makes a set of courses across your farm in a crisscross pattern, so that every single location is taken care of. The only thing is, you have to drive 2 courses for every destination, in the sense that if you're going from A to B, you have to do a course from A to B and then another one from B to A. Now obviously, just using 2 courses, if you wanted to go from A to B, you would just use the first course from A to B, and if you want to go from B to A, you'd use the second course. But let's say you make another course which goes from B to C, and the crossing point is the same crossing point in the farmyard. Then what you can do is, you could start at point A, use the crossing point, and end up at C, although you don't actually have a course that drives from A to C. So there is a potential here for a cross point. We missed one back over there as well with the field. The only other thing about making these cross points is you could make them directly opposite field gates like this, but it might even pay you to do them a little bit further advanced of the field gate like this, just about here. And I'll show you why later on. See, there's another field we don't own on this side. We could put a crossing point in here. So we'll put it about here, assuming, in fact, if we've made a mistake and gone too far, we'll just erase the last cross point there. It's not a cross point, it's actually just a marker, and we'll take it from here, turn it on here, and put a cross point in. So it's directly opposite the field gate. If you do all of them like that and you keep that format, you'll know where they go from. So now if we was using this course and turning left, the cross point might want to be here, because you'll be joining on another cross point that goes that away, and the cross point the vehicle will leave the will leave this course at this point and then turn left on the course that's maybe going across from the right to the left and going down that road. However, if we're turning right, we might want to put our cross point on this course at this point, so that the vehicle now turns right if the crossing course is going from the left to the right. Okay. However, we're going to drive straight on, so we've got our cross points in for this road, but you can see how they're set up for if the vehicle wants to turn in. Those tracks, incidentally, are from where we finished planting the seed, and the only tracks were from where we stopped to where we drove to, because of that mod that I have on where it says we're going to drive over the crop and kill it. So here's another potential cross point. We missed a couple, I think, on that. There was a couple of gates on this field. No, there wasn't. So if we wanted to turn back down that road there, we might put a cross point here, because this is at the point where we'd be probably thinking of turning in. Hang about, I didn't want that one. Close it, erase that, start it again. We want a cross point, not a wait point. So did you also see some, and you did actually saw some in-course editing, and that's how you use this editor with the pause and the bin. So you can, if you make a mistake in your course and you've already driven like 10 miles, you don't have to erase it all just because you didn't stop in the right place. Just erase the bit that you've just recently done, and you can keep clicking that all the way back to the beginning if you really want to. I'm just being careful on this turn, conscious that if this vehicle could be a harvester that's driving down here. Right, now then, if I was going to turn off down this lane, I might actually want this slightly out to the centre of the road. It's a tight turning. In fact, you might just not make it, and every time in the future when you come to do this course, you just might have to manually do this. We're going to put a cross point there, because by the time it turns in, the next course could start from somewhere in the middle of that lane between the gates. But that's where the beats are, and then the next one, we're back into the middle of the road again, would be here for this field. Whoa, stop please. It's quite a big turning, so I'm sure it would get it there. Then onward down to the shop, or up to the shop should I say, because on the map, no, down to the shop, yes, onward down to the shop. We are heading south, southwest in fact. Another opportunity here. No, yes. Whatever that lane be. I don't think I've ever been down there, Cross point. And with a cross point there. You could drive into one of these yards and use that as the end stop cross point, but I do believe there is one more thing beyond this. Could be wrong. I'm not wrong. It's a wood chip in place. So there's nothing else beyond this road. So what we will actually do is we will put a cross point just here, because this is where it will take off, and we'll put a stop point here. And now we'll save that. We'll just think of a real good name for it. That was bio to wood chip. Yeah. We'll try this. We was actually meant to go to the west from the east. Bio to wood chip. And we'll put, usually W means with, little w, X points, and I've got no room to write S, so maybe I can take out the little line with X points to make it plural. When it's saved, we will be able to make the next course. But I'll show you the other little courses that you make. This course isn't quite finished, because what you do make is you make a stop point for the wood chip. Although it's got one, you would maybe make it like this. You go reset that course, start course recording, drive forward a little bit, set a cross point, and then set a wait point, and then set a stop point. The wait point is the only thing that's going to make it stop. If you just have a stop point, as we did with that course, all it will do is turn around and stop. In fact, I should have set a wait point on that as well. I'll remember to do that next time. So this is called wood chip stop. And I think there's only one wood chip planned. Also, I wonder, whilst I'm here with this vehicle, if there is a way that I can get them logs off, because it means bringing the dolly up. I do have this implement here, which is the wood unloader, although I probably won't be able to reach anything with this. I don't know why I left the menu actually, but I could have had them off here plenty of times. think. Can't get in there because there's two bars together. Right. Lower down. The log. Won't take it, I don't think, and I know why, because it isn't chipped. So I won't mess with that now. In fact, I'll leave it connected just for a laugh. It's most likely gonna, when I reconnect, throw my tractor like pole vaulting. That's generally what happens. Pole vault my tractor miles away. Right, we're going to end the video there, and we'll come back in the next one.